Welcome everyone to the 2020 Enbridge Ride to Conquer Cancer. We're broadcasting live from the Overactive Media Studios here in Toronto. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Tammy Johnson, and I'm your ride director for this truly transformational event, the Enbridge Ride to Conquer Cancer.
And I am Steve Merker. I've been at the foundation for 14 years, and I'm proud to say I'm one of the co-founders of the Enbridge Ride to Conquer Cancer. Also proud to say I'm one of about 100 13-year riders. Tammy, we made it.
Woo!
When so many other fundraising events were canceled or postponed, we remained focused on our goal to support the research at Princess Margaret. The ride has become a movement, and we have not wavered from our goal to conquer cancer in our lifetime.
It's very true, Steve. Today was made possible through passion and perseverance, for continuing to be strong in the face of uncertainty and by remaining confident, committed, and optimistic. Whether you know it or not, each of you is demonstrating true grit.
True grit indeed, Tammy. And talking about true grit, I'd now like to introduce multi-year rider Neil Salinas, who will sing our national anthem. Neil rides for his sister Allison, who was featured at Camp Ceremonies 7 years ago. Unfortunately, Allison passed from her cancer. However, her spirit remains alive and well with Team Teal Power. Neil has performed our national anthem many times before, and we are excited to have him perform once again in our new virtual world. Neil, over to you.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Wow. Neil nailed it. Today is about unity, having fun and raising money for the Princess Margaret Cancer Foundation. For the first time ever, our phone lines are going to be open on Ride Day. Our team will be accepting donations on your behalf all day long, and we'll share how much we've raised during our closing ceremonies at 5 p.m. Leading the way as our top fundraiser right now is David Legreely. How about David? He's raised close to $250,000.
Huge. Amazing.
Our top team is RBC, led by Honorary Chair Damon Williams. RBC is closing in on $400,000. Many thanks to all our teams and individuals who are raising much needed funds. So Steve, what other interesting things do you have to share?
Well, I've got some interesting facts for you, Tammy. Thanks for asking. I can tell you that our youngest rider, in fact, we have several 8-year-olds out there participating today. And our most mature rider is 92-year-old Bill Wall. Shout out to Bill Wall. I know you're watching right now, Bill. Bill has now raised well over $20,000, more than doubling his goal of $10,000. Awesome work, Bill.
Way to go.
We have riders from 7 countries, including France, Australia, Mexico, Malaysia, Vietnam, 11 states of note, both Republican and Democrats are participating, and 9 provinces. The ride is truly global. And the research we are funding is global. For example, earlier this summer, Princess Margaret researchers discovered a simple but highly sensitive blood test that has been found to accurately diagnose and classify different types of brain tumors, resulting in more accurate diagnosis, less invasive methods, and better treatment planning in the future for all patients. Another game-changing discovery from the team at Princess Margaret, and that is thanks to all of you riders. Leading our team at the foundation is Michael Burns. Michael is the president and CEO of the foundation, 3-time rider, although he's a much better golfer than bike rider, and he'll attest to that, but an all-around great guy. Michael, Over to you for a message to our riders.
Thank you, Steve and Tammy. Hello to everyone in Ontario, across Canada, and around the world this year. I'm Michael Burns, and I'm President and CEO of the Princess Margaret Cancer Foundation. Thank you for joining us for the 13th annual Ride to Conquer Cancer. You are among more than 4,000 riders helping us to raise funds to conquer cancer. We have all had to make massive changes in the way we do things this year. The fact that I'm coming to you on a screen instead of being in the middle of a sea of riders is just one example of that. But cancer has not stopped during the pandemic, and neither can we. So if you're watching this now and about to start your ride, thank you for staying strong in the fight against cancer and for keeping our research engine going even in the middle of this pandemic. It is simply amazing. So, who is with us today? Well, we have some people who are wearing gold and platinum helmets. That means that they have been riding for 5 or 10 years now, which is simply incredible. And there are some who have been with us for every ride since the beginning. Thank you. Some riders are wearing an ambassador or a polka dot jersey, which means they have exceeded their fundraising target. Great work. And then there are the yellow flag riders who have been affected by cancer. You may be battling it yourself or have a loved one who is. Thank you for your strength and your bravery, for motivating us to keep going. Finally, some of our riders have lost loved ones. They are riding today to continue their legacy and help change outcomes for future cancer patients. This year, my family and friends ride in honor of our mother, Mary Burns. Unfortunately, she passed away from pancreatic cancer last December. As we were growing up, she taught us to help others and to never stop giving, no matter how hard it might be. So, Mom, this is for you. By riding today, you're helping us push the boundaries of cancer research. The money you will have raised will help us find the next breakthrough. And that will help people, not just at Princess Margaret, but across the country and around the world as we share our discoveries. Over the last 13 years, the ride has raised more than $213 million. That success is a direct result of the generosity and effort of you and your donors. And of course, we couldn't do it without our incredible volunteers, crew members, sponsors, and dedicated partners. Thank you. Please tune back in at 5 p.m. today when we announce the total raise this year. And until then, be safe, enjoy your ride, and keep fighting to conquer cancer. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Michael, and thank you, Team Mary. As Michael mentioned, there are over 4,000 riders in the peloton today. Wouldn't it be great if we had 4,000 people posting #RideOn and then having their network share those posts? Next to our fundraising, this would be the best thing we could do to show the rest of Canada and the world that we're still strong and that we'll never give up. We want to see you. Please post your photos of you holding your Ride On poster or of you on your bike, whether you're indoors or out, whether you're dry or whether you're wet. Remember to tag the ride at Ontario Ride and use the hashtag #RideOn. And you may be featured in our closing ceremony video at 5 p.m. So please get them in. Let's see some fun photos, city signs, landmarks, laughing, crying. We want to see you.
Anything goes, and that's amazing, Tam. And listen, we want to be trending on social media. Last year, we actually trended ahead of the Raptors just a few days ahead of their NBA championship. We've got an important message, and we need your help to amplify it. And by the way, if you haven't joined our Enbridge Ride to Conquer Cancer Club on Strava, it's not too late. It's free and it's easy. Join and post your ride activity. Let's do a Strava takeover. It's already happening. Make sure you include your Ride to Conquer Cancer and you name your Strava ride. At this point, I'd like to introduce Vern Yu. He's the EVP at Enbridge. Vern has done the ride since the very beginning and is a huge reason why Enbridge is so committed to our mission to conquer cancer in our lifetime. Vern, over to you.
Good morning, riders. Thank you for participating in this year's virtual Enbridge Ride to Conquer Cancer. I'm going to miss the energy of our in-person opening ceremonies and the excitement of doing the ride together. But I know we'll all be back together again once COVID's over. For those of you who are new to the ride, welcome and thank you. This year's ride is a unique one. We have no official route, no fundraising minimum, and no registration fees. It gives us an opportunity to do the ride our own way and still raise money for the Alberta Cancer Foundation and the Princess Margaret Cancer Centre. This year's virtual ride allows us to stay together as a ride community and continue to build awareness for cancer research. Over the years, together on our rides, we've raised almost $300 million for cancer research and treatments in Alberta and Ontario. The money you have raised supports people with cancer to help them receive enhanced patient care. It also supports research into new drugs and treatments to stop cancer, which is so important to the thousands of people across Canada who are fighting this awful disease. This year, as in all of the 12 years that I've done this ride, I'll be thinking of friends and family who have battled cancer or who are currently fighting the disease. This includes my father-in-law, Jim, who has been recently diagnosed with prostate cancer. We at Enbridge are very proud to be the title sponsor of the ride. The ride has been embraced by our employees and their families. Team Enbridge has raised close to $10 million as we've participated in rides in Alberta, Ontario, and Quebec. So on behalf of Enbridge, thank you for your commitment to the ride and to supporting better outcomes for those battling cancer. So please take a minute now and listen to the following safety guidelines. But most of all, remember to ride safe today and have a lot of fun.
Good morning, everyone. What a year. Who would have thought that after last year's ride, we would be talking about social distancing, bubbles, and wearing masks? Hey, in uncertain times, we look to our institutions for our anchors, for constancy, for normalcy in our lives. The Leafs not making the playoffs. The ride to conquer cancer will not be defeated by this virus. And yes, I'm back to do the safety speech once again, because no one will step up to do this important job. So here we go. Obey all rules of the road and traffic laws, just as you would if you were driving a car. And, quite frankly, about 30 kilometers in, you're going to wish you were driving a car. Remember to follow all rules of the road. Wear a helmet. Give verbal and hand signals to communicate to your fellow riders and to surrounding vehicles. No cell phones while you ride. Keep to the extreme right of the road and pass only on the left. Remember that riding a bike in a large group is much different than cycling alone. Always ride predictably and in control, and avoid weaving and, yes, erratic behavior. I'm also very sorry to say that due to social distancing protocols, that this year we will also outlaw erotic riding. Next year. If there are road hazards, call them out to your fellow riders. Anticipate the actions of fellow riders and motorists and be vigilant of parked cars and unsafe road conditions. One of the things I'll miss the most tonight is the camaraderie at the camp tonight in Hamilton with a good steam whistle. Yeah. And by the way, we don't need extra. with a good steam whistle. Follow all of the provincial directives related to the coronavirus. The Ride to Conquer Cancer does not support group riding or gathering that does not follow safe distancing protocols. Enjoy your ride. Be safe. And most of all, thank you. Thank you for supporting the Princess Margaret and the Ride to Conquer Cancer 2020.
Thank you, Dr. Irish. And just so the new riders know, several years ago, Dr. Irish accidentally inserted a Freudian slip and replaced riding erratically with riding erotically. Yeah.
It does get me excited. But
John, we also appreciate your attempt at humor by inserting the Corona beer and the no extra Corona. I hope you all join Tammy and I at 5 p.m. with a nice cold steam whistle, one of our longest standing sponsors, cheers, of the Ride to Conquer Cancer. And now on a serious note and a reminder as to why we ride. As per Ride opening ceremonies tradition, we are going to have our riderless bike procession, albeit virtually. It is with a heavy heart that I introduce the riderless bike procession this year. Even though we cannot be gathered together, we know that each one of you will take a moment to reflect and help us honor this tradition and everyone we ride for. Today we commemorate Al Mcginnis, a crew member and friend to so many here at the Ride. Al volunteered at many Princess Margaret events and signed up to support the Ride on day one back in 2008. He was a crew captain and cycling first responder. Sadly, Al passed from cancer last year, but did not leave without making a huge mark on this event. Al was a leader and proud member of the Canadian Ski Patrol. He helped keep us safe on our rides and was with us every pedal of the way. We are joined in tribute by Al's family and team members from the Canadian Ski Patrol.
Al Mcginnis was a great influence on the Canadian Ski Patrol. When he joined the Ride to Conquer Cancer 10 years ago, the crew was small. He made it grow. He invited me. I didn't even know what a road bike was, but a year later I did. And I joined him for the ride, and I will ride with him forever.
There's something about Al Mcginnis. His presence just put a smile on people's faces. His humor was contagious, and he had an uplifting personality. And no matter what he did, he had fun, and he was passionate about it, including cycling, ski patrol, and first aid. Al, it was a pleasure to be your teammate. Thank you.
Al Mcginnis, a cyclist, a skier, an instructor, and best of all, one of my good friends. May he rest in peace.
Recognizing my father in this way would have meant the world to him. He believed in the power of the bicycle to do good, and this ride is a perfect example. I've had the privilege to meet several of the people that Dad inspired along the way. Thank you all so much for recognizing him in this way. I hope that his journey can help add a little bit of inspiration to yours.
A riderless bike is presented as a symbol of a journey that started long before this morning, and one that will continue. It's a symbol of an inspiring person who once rode it, but is no longer here. And a symbol of why we ride, in honor of those we have lost and to change the outcome for those who are currently battling cancer, a battle they did not choose. Al, this ride is for you.
what a beautiful tribute to Al. I know that this meant so much to Al's family. If you'd like to see the full video message, please go to the Ride's YouTube channel. And now, Steve, I think it's about that time.
Yes, indeed, Tammy. And as I like to say, it's go time. Please ride safe and keep the rubber side down, folks. And the weather, how about that weather? It's actually looking good. Mother Nature and the weather gods are on our side today. There is no hurricane coming up to Southern Ontario. And if it does rain a bit, remember, we call that liquid sunshine. Mm-hmm. The ride would not be the ride if we didn't have our traditional start. So here we go. Tammy, why do we ride?
Because our sweat is nothing compared to their tears.
Because our challenge is nothing compared to their fight.
Because we are all on one journey.
To conquer cancer in our lifetime.
Keep this in your minds and in your hearts as you make your way through the streets and countryside.
Be proud of what you have done here today.
Riders,
Ready,
set, ride!